Welcome to This Explainer. We're diving straight into a notoriously tricky IELTS speaking task 1 topic today, science. If you're gunning for that solid 6.5 band score or higher, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to analyze official forecast questions and give you the exact answers you need to practice. So, sit up straight, get ready to practice your pronunciation out loud, and let's get started. Here's our roadmap for today. We're breaking down 5 core forecast questions for quarter 2 of 2026. We've got, do you like studying science? Memories of teachers, current interest, when did you start? And finally, the role of science. Let's jump right in. All right, section 1. Do you like studying science? This is literally the very first question an examiner will probably throw at you, just to set the baseline for the interview. So picture yourself in the exam room and listen to the pacing here. Did you like studying science when you were at school? Why or why not? Okay, here's a really strong, natural way you could respond to that. You could say, yes, I quite enjoyed studying science at school because it helped me develop a logical way of thinking and understand how the world works. However, I sometimes found certain topics like physics a bit challenging to grasp, especially when they involved complex formulas.
So why does that answer work so well? It's all about that specific band-boosting vocabulary. I mean, instead of a basic science makes me smart, dropping a phrase like logical way of thinking instantly elevates the whole response. And notice how we used challenging to grasp instead of just saying it was hard, or complex formulas instead of difficult math. Using these exact collocations shows the examiner you have serious control over the language.
Moving on to section 2, memories of teachers. At this point, the examiner will probably shift gears from the subject itself to the actual people who taught it to you. They'll ask, what do you remember about your science teachers at school? Now, when you hear this, I want you to really try and pull up your own real-life anecdotes. Trust me, having a personal story makes your fluency sound so much more natural. Listen to how we use descriptive language in this sample answer. I remember that most of my science teachers were very passionate about their subjects and always tried to make lessons more engaging and interactive. One teacher in particular used real-life examples to bring abstract concepts to life, which made learning much more enjoyable. Okay, the absolute crucial point here is the power of idiomatic expressions. Look at that last bullet point right there. Bring abstract concepts to life. This is such a brilliant way to say, make it easy to understand. It creates this vivid image in the examiner's mind, you know? It proves you aren't just directly translating words from your native language, but you're actually thinking in English idioms. Let's take a super quick timeout from the questions to remind ourselves why highlighting this vocabulary actually matters. If you look at the official IELTS speaking band descriptors for lexical resource, hitting that 6.5 or higher means you absolutely need to use a wide and diverse range of vocabulary accurately and flexibly. The rubric specifically looks for idiomatic expressions and your ability to paraphrase. And hey, that is exactly what we're practicing right now. All right, section 3, current interest. Now the timeline shifts to today. How interested are you in science now? Why or why not? When you answer this, think about your everyday life. Are you scrolling through news articles on your phone? Binge watching documentaries? If you can relate this to what you actually consume daily, answering becomes a breeze. Check out the nuance in this model answer. I would say I am moderately interested in science now, especially topics related to technology and the environment. I often read articles about scientific breakthroughs and cutting-edge innovations as they have a direct impact on our daily lives. This example perfectly highlights a killer test-taking strategy. Look at the phrase, moderately interested. That is just a fantastic, nuanced way to answer when you aren't exactly obsessed with a topic, but you don't hate it either. It sounds so much more authentic than just faking extreme enthusiasm. Plus, it opens the door for you to drop in high-level terms like scientific breakthroughs and cutting-edge innovations. And you know, you can totally personalize this response. If technology isn't really your thing, no problem. Just swap it out using specific professional vocabulary. You could mention reading articles by a biologist, a chemist, a meteorologist, or a physicist. Hitting the exact syllable stress on these occupational nouns is a surefire way to bump up that lexical resource score. Next up, section 4, when did you start? Now the examiner is going to bring the focus right back to your early educational foundation. They'll ask, when did you start to learn science? To really nail that 6.5 plus fluency, your rhythm should sound a little something like this. I started learning science in primary school when I was around 6 or 7 years old. At that time, the lessons were quite basic and focused on simple experiments and fundamental concepts, which helped build a strong foundation for more advanced study later on. Did you notice the chronological progression in the vocabulary there? It's really clever. You start off talking about simple experiments and fundamental concepts, and then you naturally explain how those things build a strong foundation for advanced study. Doing this doesn't just show off good vocabulary, it proves you have excellent grammatical range and a highly logical flow of ideas. That directly impacts your fluency and coherence score. And finally, we arrive at Section 5, the role of science. For the climax of this explainer, we're tackling a much more abstract question. Do you think science classes are important? Now, I've got to warn you, yes or no questions like this are a total trap if you just say yes and stop talking. To score well, these require a multi-layered explanation. You really need to dig in and explain the why. Here's how you tackle this kind of abstract concept with absolute confidence. Yes, I strongly believe science classes are essential because they equip students with critical thinking skills and encourage them to question and explore the world around them. Moreover, science plays a crucial role in solving global issues, so having a basic understanding of it is extremely valuable. This breakdown brilliantly illustrates the difference between an average answer and an excellent one. I mean, a basic 5.0 answer is true, sure, but it's simple, just saying, science helps me think and solve problems. The upgraded 6.5 plus answer takes those exact same basic ideas, but wraps them in advanced vocabulary like equip students, critical thinking skills, and crucial role in solving global issues. Truly understanding this difference, that's the secret to knowing exactly what the examiner is listening for. So I have to ask, are you ready to bring your abstract concepts to life in your next speaking test? Remember, the absolute key to mastering this is consistent exposure and active practice. Don't just read these answers silently in your head. Actually practice speaking these structures out loud, record yourself, and really focus on that fluency and pronunciation. Good luck with your IELTS prep. Keep practicing, and you are absolutely going to crush it.